kind of make it happen. So so I'm looking forward to this presentation and see what they come up with at the end.
Cool. I hope you all enjoy tonight's presentation. And let me see who else is here. I'm just seeing new faces. Pauline, I see you somewhere. Yeah. Abby, where is Abby? I see Abby somewhere. Welcome. Well, welcome everybody. Well, I cannot see all the faces. I'm trying to see. Hi, Juliet. Thank you for coming. Cool. Okay, let's jump for the first team. Let me introduce you to the team one. Trixie Woodhouse, Michelle, Soo-young, and Lana as a designer, and then you have the developers Carla and Ruben as well. So go team. Thank you for the encouragement and for your job. I think you can share your screen.
Okay, I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, can everyone see that okay?
Yes. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, I guess team one, are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay, we'll get started. So hi everyone, thanks for joining tonight. My name is Lana and we're team number one. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna start over with that. Oops. All right, let's get that. Okay, cool. So yeah, hi guys, I'm Lana and we're team number one. Here we are. And so here's our fabulous team of UX designers and developers. Tonight, you're going to hear from myself, Michelle, and Trixie. So not to sugarcoat it, we know job seeking is a lengthy and redundant process. So we've been exploring how we could provide applicants with a tool that, in supplement to their resume, would really help candidates stand out from the crowd. So in partnership with IterateUX, we produced a solution for CareerIn's video recording feature that will help candidates showcase who they are off paper. And so tonight, this brief presentation will cover the following, and by the end, you're going to learn our design process, outcomes, and even preview our standing prototype. So with this project, beyond helping candidates stand out from other applicants, we wanted to focus on a design solution that would empower job seekers to feel confident about expressing their personality through video, as well as enable them with design features that would promote ease and fairness for all. So next, let's hear from Trixie. And she's going to talk about our discoveries, ideations, and what job seekers had to say about our designs. Take it away.
Thanks, Lana. So for our research, what we did was we conducted 4 user interviews. We sent out a online survey in which we got 54 survey responses. And then we also did some competitive product audits for to understand patterns, requirements, and just get a little bit of inspiration on existing products. And then we synthesized our findings with affinity mapping and user stories. So what we ultimately discovered was that while candidates know the value of showcasing their personality in the application stage, they still felt hesitant about adding yet another potentially tedious and daunting step in addition to their resume and portfolio by recording a video. But our research showed that by offering help, guidance, and being transparent about the value of completing a video task would greatly increase their confidence and motivation to record. We narrowed our user needs down to simplicity, guidelines, and value that would provide ease, fairness, comfort, confidence, and the motivation needed for a seamless experience. So that brings us to our main themes and problem statements, which are helpful, transparent, and accessible. How might we help candidates feel comfortable, confident, and motivated to record a video of themselves to showcase their personality? How might we let candidates know the benefits to having a video as supplement to their resume? And how might we ensure ease and fairness with the capabilities of a video feature? So with that, we meet Daniela. She's a junior designer who is in search of her first full-time UX designer role. She's curious to know what else she can do to help her stand out as a candidate, and she also wants to find new ways to show her personality and her soft skills that will help in landing interviews, as the traditional paper resume or LinkedIn profile can be challenging to showcase those traits. In taking our research findings and finding out how to map out this experience, it was clear that transparent copy, helpful tips, and video examples would largely contribute to a positive user experience. It was important to not only limit the amount of screens to drill down into, but also to ensure that video editing options were as minimal as possible so that candidates can focus on their content as opposed to navigating logistics of tools, and to also level the playing field so that there were no added bells and whistles in editing features that could, potentially create an unfair advantage to those who aren't comfortable with video editing software. The wireframes you see here are only a very small fraction of the many, many iterations we worked through, but we kept our themes of helpful, transparent, and accessible at the forefront of our minds, and to ensure that our design aligned with the findings we discovered in our research. So for the first version of our high fidelity prototype, we conducted usability testing on 5 participants who were current job seekers and measured our results based on these 3 parameters, which are ease, confidence in recording a video, and the motivation to want to record a video. We learned through testing that we made, go ahead next, yeah, the user flow and calls to action easily enough to where participants had no troubles understanding where to go next. They also loved the offering of video tips and video examples that we provided, along with a suggested script to use. However, some questions were raised regarding preparedness and hesitancy in the user flow. So in this first iteration that you see on the slide of one of our high fidelity screens for our first round, we found that most of the participants were really preemptive in their thinking, as they didn't feel fully prepared enough to click on that main CTA to start recording, and would have wanted more opportunities to prepare for their videos sooner. So while the tips and example videos were found to be really helpful, they also would have wanted the opportunity to read text-based tips, and write up their script within this specific screen before clicking on that main call to action. So every participant was really excited about this screen, and that they have this space on top of their video recording to type out their script or notes to help them prepare what they were going to say before recording. However, they were still hesitant to use this kind of Mad Lib style of scripting, kind of plug and play scripting, saying that using the exact script may end up sounding kind of redundant to recruiters or hiring managers if every candidate used it. So we then took the feedback and cycled through several iterations again to come up with our final design, which Michelle will review with you now.
Awesome. Thank you, Trixie. My name is Michelle, and I'll be sharing with you all how we applied our research findings to our design. So as we mentioned, based on our findings, we knew we wanted to focus around these 3 key themes. And by placing the candidate and their confidence as our primary user goal, we focused all design interactivity elements to be helpful, transparent, and accessible. Some users in testing mentioned that they wouldn't know what to say when recording a video of themselves. So to provide inspiration and make it as easy as possible, we included example videos with transcripts. We also added an open-ended script feature that provides examples users can tweak to make their own. This provides some structure, but still allows for their creativity and personality to shine through. We also included a place for users to type out their notes in script, because we don't expect them to memorize everything. So this really helps them make them feel at ease and confident when they're ready to record. Regarding transparency, the design showing the overall process in recording a video is very clear and simple, so users know exactly what to expect and aren't surprised by anything. We realized in testing that some users were cautious about recording a video because they weren't sure where that video was going. So we added very clear copy that highlights that only the user can control where their video is shared. And we wanted to relate to candidates that CareerIn understands the struggle of job searching. By including transparent copy, like "you are more than your resume," we really showed users that CareerIn knows how to support them. Regarding accessibility, to ensure that all users feel welcome to use the CareerIn platform, We added features like the ability to change the font size and expand the note-taking area. This is especially helpful for those with vision impairments. Additionally, by adding captioning and transcripts to videos, we're able to support users who prefer reading as their learning method, who might have hearing impairments, or just aren't able to listen to a video at that time. And lastly, we included really clear focus states so users without access to a keyboard or with mobility impairments could easily navigate through the site. So to put that all together, we're excited to share our hi-fi prototype with you all now. Awesome. So we're going to embody our persona, Daniela. So she's going to log in to her CareerIn profile. Here's the job board, but we're going to go ahead and go to her profile. Here, she has not yet recorded a video. So after reading over this information, she's really excited and she wants to get started with that process. First, she'll start with practicing. So she'll view some tips, maybe watch some videos, get some inspiration, and just feel confident about what she might say. When she's ready to start recording, she can go ahead and get some inspiration of maybe what phrases she would like to say, or get some kind of tips on what she should include in her script. So as she hovers over the suggested prompts, even more examples appear, so she can really tailor her script to be specific to her. Awesome, now she's got her script, she's ready to record. So she'll ensure that she has all the permissions on her computer. And when she's ready, she can go ahead and record. Awesome, she did it. She did great, her video is awesome. She's really proud of it, so she wants to go ahead and save it to her profile. Now the last step is to share that video. So she can open the share section, get the link, copy it, and share it to her resume, her profile, any of her social media accounts, wherever she would like that shared. Again, she is in control of where that goes. Awesome, so now heading back to her profile, we can see that her video is right there in the center of the page for recruiters and hiring managers to see. At the bottom is also some more information about her background and education, social media links, and also an area where she can learn more about requesting video recommendations from peers.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the outcomes of this amazing project. So we've been talking about how we're helping job seekers stand out from the crowd, but how might CareerIn be standing out from other video recording platforms on the market? We believe that in future iterations, CareerIn has the potential to stand out with this candidate-centered platform that's going to instill confidence through helpfulness, transparency, and accessibility. Additionally, we think that future iterations will increase traffic to CareerIn, boost that account sign up, and expand the network reach for job seekers and recruiters. And a lot of things went well with this project, to say the least, but overall, our team had to learn to prioritize some real socio-political factors into our design decisions that we learned and discovered in research and heard through the voices of users during usability testing. And together with our developers, we had to adapt our designs and understand the constraints developers faced with the web application tool we used called Bubble. And in hindsight, we would want to explore some other web applications that would allow for alternate customization methods, possibly including more CSS or HTML into the platform. We'd want to conduct another round of user testing with our latest prototype and also explore some more edge cases that users may face. If we were given more time to work on this project, we'd love to expand on the recommendations feature. Since 100% of our user participants felt that a recommendation from a colleague or former employer would really impact the video on the site. We'd also love to explore for mobile responsiveness and additional features that would explore the designs from a recruiter's or hiring manager's point of view. We'd also love to take some additional steps into emphasizing more accessibility, possibly an audio only feature or more capture and supported video. And we'll actually be dropping a link in the chat of the live version of our prototype. So go ahead and click that when it's there and you can check things out. That's all from us tonight. Thanks for listening, and we're happy to expand on anything else you've heard from us tonight.
Amazing. Very, very cool. Thank you so much.
All right.
Congrats. Bravo, bravo, bravissimo. Cool. I really like, guys. Okay, I want to talk about for the developers.
Yeah, we have
Let's
here
talk
Carla,
about the
Ruben.
developer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know too, what is the username and password I can use for testing the prototype? Or yeah, I can't just go ahead and press login.
Yes, so actually you can just like sign up, and it doesn't require email verification. So you can even like input like a random email, because it's yeah, super easy to remove that data. So feel free to use, you know, anything.
Cool, cool.
Okay, so you don't have any user just for testing. I have to sign in. So I have to sign up.
Yes, you have to sign up. Yeah,
Okay.
super easy though. You don't have to verify your email. And regarding the development process, so it's Carla and I who were involved in that. And so, I mean, similar to what Lana was mentioning at the end, there were some constraints in the platform we used. So we all know it was Bubble, and constraints in terms of how customizable some functionality could be. Again, because it's a no-code platform. And however, we found workarounds, of course, to achieve some of the features, and you know, it wasn't like super hard. It just takes, you know, more time than I guess you would expect if you used another platform. Of course, a lot of things like come with Bubble, so some things are super quick and super easy to implement. But then again, to allow some level of customization, we would prefer another platform. So, you know, React or coding. But the process went well, you know, and Carla, I don't know if you want to add something specifically about Sigio or, you know, anything else, because I know you.
Yeah, my part of the project was working with how to integrate Sigio, the actual library, into the Bubble framework. And like Kenneth can testify, I have having a few conversations with him about the limitations that Sigio offers right now with Bubble. And what I found out is that like Bubble, since it's a framework that allows for anyone to kind of create a very basic application or website, it doesn't really allow, as Ruben was saying, for a lot of customization to really implement all of the different designs and mockups that the designers made into the actual project at the end. But the functionality is there, it was working. I also found out that there were a few like security concerns with how Bubble and Sigio operates. It's not very safe to really integrate data and how to actually share the data of a user if it was actually sensible information about the user. So that's a bit like, oh, interesting. I mean, for Bubble to just be like, hey, here's my application, ta-da, it's the end, it really works. But if it would be to actually now use it and sell it into a large group of users, might be a few concerns about security. But for the purposes of the hackathon and the scope, it really helped us to go out and really implement as much as we could for the mockup, which was very good, a very cool mockup from our designers.
Great. Great.
Is there any critical part of the design you couldn't implement because Bubble, or pretty much is everything there?
Yeah, at least for the part that I was working on was how much I can customize the whole recording your video part of like put in, for example, the buttons to re-record the video, put in a countdown of how many minutes or seconds, because right now there's only 1 minute maximum to record, how many seconds you have on. Like these type of limitations I really was able to implement, because just Sigio was like, this is our play button, this is how it looks like, this is our re-record button, and this is how it looks like the end. That's not major concerns because the functionality is still there, but those were like only the few things that if you go through the prototype, you can see like those, there's like, oh, there's a pink color there. Where did that come from? That comes from the actual CGO library.
Another issue that I found was that usually when you're coding, when you receive input, you can pre-process it and then, do all these things and then save it. But at Bubble, the process of handling input data is very like simplistic and sequential and atomic. So you have to say, this is one thing, and then the way you define it, it's the way it's saved. So there is not like a point in between when you get the data and when you save it where you can manipulate it. So again, that also presents issues when you are trying to deal with more complex data than just like a name or a password, right? And in our case, it was like the input of different values, like a list of values. Yeah. So that was one of the complaints we had as developers.
Okay, so when you realized you had all these limitations, how did you manage with the designers to change the design or to think of something else? How was the communication there? How fast that happened? What time in the whole process after the whole 2 weeks, or it happened before? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it happened pretty quickly because we were very open about how limiting some of the things in Bubble were. And so we just like talked about, how valuable, I guess, parts of the features were, how necessary, and if they were really necessary, then of course it was time to look for a workaround. And if not, then, change focus to the most fundamental things for the MVP. Carly, you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that also one thing that really helped us is sharing with our designers. Like, for example, CGO offers a demo of how to use their library. So sharing this link with our designers, they can also review like, oh, this is what actually CGO looks like. So from there, there's like this much that we can also implement. And like Ruben was saying, like we're talking with the designers like constantly in our either in by chat or in our meetings that, hey, like just that there's this concern, maybe there might be not this full customization of the button, or maybe this one might not be able to put in this specific position, but it was all about that's okay. Like there's a few things that we can compromise. Like I don't know if Trixie or Lana, you guys want to also comment on how that design part of that one was.
I mean, this was a dream team. I love this team. I wish we could be a team of 6 to go to like every job and work together as a team, because it was such a phenomenal experience. It really is with this team. We worked so well together, and just the level of communication that we all had with one another, the openness, like all the transparency that we were able to share like a constant basis, just every single day, and touch bases and all that stuff. It's just been fantastic. So
just as an FYI, congratulations for that, because it's not normal to have that in the real life. This is not going to happen in your real life.
So you're like,
it has to.
It should, right? But it's not happening. I don't know. It's happening in my day-to-day work as well.
It's complex. It's complex.
It's complex.
Anyone has any other questions for the group? From the audience?
I want any question, please. Do you have any question for mentors? Mentor has any question or want to say something? Did you have connection with a specific mentor?
We connected with Priscilla. I don't see her on here, but yeah, Priscilla, we connected with her, and she gave us some really, really great direction as to where to take our product, and it helped hone us in a lot. So it was really, really valuable.
Cool. Thank you, Priscilla, if you are watching us in YouTube.
Yeah, thank you, Priscilla.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we don't have any other question, we can jump in the other team. In the next team. Congratulations, guys. It was amazing team. I'm super happy with your outcomes, but more for your connection in the developers and designers. This is a very good win, a huge win.
Thank you.
Congratulations, dream team.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Green Team. Let's jump now for the group 4. We have Gustavo and CJ, right?
Yep, CJ.
Cool.
Yep, and also Daniel and Kevin.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And Kevin and Daniel, perfect. Cool, developers, awesome. Okay, perfect. You can share your screen or you can present yourself if you want during the meeting, or the meeting is all yours.
Awesome. All right, so the CareerIn Hackathon presentation. We're a team of designers and developers who conducted UX research, UX design, UI design, and web development. I'm Gustavo.
And I'm CJ.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Kevin.
Project summary. IterateUX partnered with CareerIn to give us a month-long hackathon to come up with a new platform for CareerIn. Next. The problem. Modern day society relies heavily on text-based resumes where candidates can't really show off who they really are. This dilemma leads to hiring managers making decisions on limited information and in many cases, hiring the wrong candidate. Next. The goal. The goal is to allow candidates to show their unique personalities to employers and receive insightful feedback to help them grow in an effort to increase job retention in the tech industry by matching compatible candidates with their dream companies. These are the services we utilize to come up with our solution. In discovery, we did competitive analysis, user interviews, secondary research to see what was already out there and available. And define stage, we did a mood board, an infinity map, and created user persona to help us brainstorm, to define the problem. And ideate, we did how might we questions, brainstorming, and a user storyboard. With designing, we created wireframes, a style guide, and a high fidelity mockup. And our developers created a bubble prototype. Next.
So with competitive analysis, we compare with some of our main competitors. There are Glassdoor, Indeed, and LinkedIn, and also HireMe. We focus on some of their main function. And this time with CareerIn, we will be adding these features in our product. Next, please. For user interviews, we focus on, we talk to people from 20 to 35 years old and located in North America. And this is what we heard from them. I find it frustrating when hiring managers don't respond and I put a lot of time into an application. And lack of transparency from employers. They only show you what they want to. So then we come up with 5 design principles: better understanding from employers, finding a job that is a good cultural fit, sharing what they are passionate about, no redundant job applying, get constructive feedback to become a better candidate. And this is the user persona that we create. Her name is Angela. She said, when I apply for a job, I want to talk about my passions. So what are her needs? She would like to speak about who she is and her passions, a job that aligns with her values, beliefs, and goals. But what her frustrations are, she is new in this job field and doesn't think her resume will help her stand out to the company she is a good fit for. Next. So then we created this storyboard. Angela wants to get a new job, and then she records a video to sign up for CareerIn, and then she applies one of her top CareerIn matches. But then she got rejected from it, and she also got constructive feedback. And now Angela's listened to her feedback and applies for another job in CareerIn. And Angela's get her dream job this time. Next.
We conducted an affinity map to help organize user insights into relevant categories. Some of the key insights were when everything is set up front, it creates peace and harmony. It's easier to speak about things that you're passionate about. Job candidates deserve feedback to know what they did wrong. Hiring is a long-term investment. You get out of it what you put into it. Next. We created this mood board, and it gave some of the key, these are the principles that emerged from our user research, and we used it to identify with the CareerIn brand. Transparency, personability, accountability, simplicity, chemistry, and throughout the entire application, we used blue because it represents trust, loyalty, and is associated with calmness and security. Transparency. It really helps to receive all this information up front before even applying. How this represents transparency: former and current employees can leave reviews of their experience. Job candidates versus candidates' expectations let everyone see how they align before even applying. Companies are required to make a video speaking on their values, beliefs, philosophy, goals, and mission. What we learned from testing: we did not have a review section. A participant asked, "What are the reviews so I can see the truth?" Participants really liked the compatibility section because they said it holds a lot of value and helps them understand why a job is not a good fit.
Simplicity. What we heard from them: finding a job is a stressful process. So let's not make onboarding any more stressful this time. Only we ask for essential information, and it's easy to set up a profile. Once an info is filled out, the user doesn't have to ever do it again when applying to a job. They could just adjust it afterwards. And also they will be able to record in videos with Zigio, make it easier for users to share their videos. Next.
Personability. I never felt like my resume represented me well. I think a video would help me stand out more. How this represents personability: job candidates can upload a 1-minute audio or video to be sent with their application when applying to jobs. Additional videos can be added to the job candidate's profile, or when they apply, they can choose to upload a specific one for the specific job. What we learned from testing: participants like the idea of replacing the resume with a video for the most part. The audio, everyone felt completely comfortable with. The endorsement video, participants didn't find invasive and would send to their references. Thought overall, this is where the future is headed, and think it's improvement of the already said hiring process system.
And also we heard a lot of complaints about feedback after the interview is important, no matter if it's a good or bad. So let's help our applicants improve with feedback from employers. So employers are required to respond with feedback to rejected applicants. Feedback will include what factor doesn't meet or why the applicant is unqualified. And candidates will be able to see when the employers read their application. Both the job candidate and employers have to invest in the process. Next.
Chemistry. I love how these are real questions that actually matter when looking for a job. How this represents chemistry: the same survey is conducted by employees and job candidates, which ensure that candidates are paired with companies that are made up of people with the same interests and values. Based on answers, compatibility matches are created, and it provides the details as to why. What we learned from testing: users like the questions and the idea of being paired with companies that are good cultural fits. Helps with making a decision. Users like the breakdown of the compatibilities. It gave them the key insights they otherwise wouldn't have had to help make a decision. Takeaways. Things don't always go as planned. During the hackathon, we lost 2 designers who were playing major roles in the UX process, but we adapted and stayed on course.
And communication is the key. So we took a while to get going, but once it did, everything became easier as we utilized cloud-based apps to collaborate, including Slack, Miro, and Figma.
Next steps: real data. Unfortunately, when testing, we were unable to test users using real data compiled. So it will be interesting to test in the future with real data, see the compatibility results and algorithm. Interview process. Due to time constraints, we only made a limited amount of screens. So going beyond the MVP and developing the interview process aspect of CareerIn has a lot of opportunities for more innovation that were left out of this prototype.
And this is our prototype that we designed on Bubble. On the first page of the onboarding process, we kept it simple and only asked for basic information. On the profile page, we let you give a short summary of yourself and then input what you desire in a work environment.
The survey page is designed to match employees and employers so they can be transparent about what they expect in a job. Here you can post a video from Zigio or an audio file if you'd prefer. You can also request an endorsement video where your past coworkers could talk about you.
Once you're finished the onboarding process, we show you companies with the highest compatibility from the surveys. The homepage shows a brief summary of your profile, the companies with the highest compatibility results, the recent inbox, and tips for making better videos.
On the left, you can see how you match with the company and read the employer reviews. And you also have a video of the company's beliefs, values, mission statement, etc. And below is the career description and how your expectations match with the company. Here you can see again how you match with the company. And from this page, you can click submit and it'll upload your saved resume, or you have the option to upload a video or audio file if you want for this specific job.
Once you apply, you're shown other companies that you've matched with, and you have the opportunity to go straight to them and apply if you would like to. Here we have an example of somebody who is not accepted for the position. The company provides feedback for what the candidate could improve on, and the candidate has some preset response options and the option to type their own feedback.
And we are open for any questions now. Thank you.
Cool. Congrats. Very cool. Nice. I want to, someone has any question so far? Let's see. Great job. I really like. Perfect.
Everyone likes the storyboard too. There's many plus one love for storyboard.
I think you have to charge per hour to storyboard, boarding everything. I wanted to talk to you guys if you have the time to create some design system or how you create the bottom on the design system. If you could do it.
I'm sorry, what specifically are you asking?
Yeah, did you have a time to create some design system or follow any design system or material UI or something similar?
So yeah, we do have a style guide and we developed kind of set icons and buttons that we ended up using, but we made everything basically from scratch.
Cool. Cool. And how was the collaboration with developers? How was your experience?
Well, at the beginning, we had 2 more designers on the team. And once we started having to do in the discovery phase, they ended up falling off one or the other. But after that, I think that the team got really more tight and we really started to work together really well and really utilize Slack a lot to really communicate.
Cool. Great. And who else want to answer that question as well? I think each of you have a different experience working together. So
for the developers, it started off rough for us because we don't really have much experience in this. So we were using Bubble and we were also using Discord so that we could communicate, and we both had to learn the whole app and figure out what we were doing and design stuff together. So we would work together at the same time, but also be in Discord so that we could talk to each other and communicate like what works, what doesn't work, and what we're struggling with.
Cool. did you have any challenge during the development side that you have to change the design from any point?
I mean, pretty much the whole thing was a challenge for us, but we had a little trouble with the fonts for a while. We didn't realize starting out that the set style was going to change multiple things. So for the first page when we were doing it, we'd change one and it would change another, and then, but that was a quick thing that we figured out and fixed.
Cool. Thank you. Anybody wants to ask or answer that question as well from the team?
I will have to say really thankful for Gustavo. Like, he's the only designer left, and I'm super junior with this thing, and I was so worried that I might drag him down, you know. So I'll try my best to, you know, do the best I could, and glad he really shows a good leadership in this team, and we four kind of gathered together and work this out, and it's a pleasure working with you all, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and thank you for IterateUX, and also kind of to bring up this event. I really gained a lot of knowledge from this. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your feedback. This is really important for us as well. And yeah, I mean, it is very important that the leadership in a team is key as a communication as well.
Also, I forgot to mention, I want to say thank you for Pauline. She gave us like really good instruction with this. We too learned so much from her instruction. So thank you, Pauline, for your time. We kind of met 2 times on Zoom, and it's so helpful. We improved from the first time to the second time. We changed a lot, and we learned so much from her. Thank you.
Cool. I wanted to hear from Pauline. Where is Pauline? Please tell us your experience guiding these guys.
I think they did really good job. Even the first time I met them, they already kind of like have all the project figured out. But at the same time, I think the missing part will be they're more focused on the product itself instead of the process. And then I think I just remind them to put more process, especially how they come up with the decision making onto the presentation, because that is most likely when you go for interview or go for any put together a case studies, that is more important than the final product. So I think they did really good job. The second time we met, they already put everything together. Of course, everybody loved the storyboard. And a lot of time, I noticed that a lot of students think they should have put everything perfect, digitize it, draw it on like Illustrator or make it like so perfect. But sometimes you don't need to be perfect. You just need to come across like the idea, come across with the team and the client. So I think that come across very, very nice with all this different like sketch and also digitize and final product.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're welcome.
Awesome team, and also the mentor again. Thank you, Pauline, as well. I really appreciate your, yeah, go ahead.
I have only one question. Do you have any time to do some user testing? I'm not sure if I saw that in the presentation.
Yeah, so we did do 1 round of usability testing. And yeah, we spoke about it on each of the screens when going over the principles. On the bottom, we spoke about what we learned from each of the testings. Yeah.
What is the most important change you make in your design based on that user testing?
I would say adding the audio feature, not just having the video, because we noticed that a lot of people really were lacking confidence with being behind the screen, but a lot of people felt a lot more confident with the audio, and also the reviews. We didn't have a review section for like seeing, we just had like the video of the jobs perspective, and somebody said, well, I want to see what the past people said. So we added that in also.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. Okay, let's jump to the next one, the last one, the group 6. Victoria, Ali, Jasmine, and Kayo. First, I wanted to congratulate to Trixie because she was hired as a product designer last Friday. So bravo for you as well.
Thank you.
You have you have been in this journey for a long time, waiting for this moment.
Thank you.
Cool. And for Kayo as well, I have a little beard telling me that you have a job as well. Are you there, Kayo?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank
cool.
you. Yes.
Yeah, cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know who else have a job already.
So Young does.
Cool.
Please don't disappear. Keep coming to the community, please.
Cool. Okay, guys. Team 6, we can start with you guys.
Awesome.
You can share your screen.
Do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Great.
Yeah, just a second.
Oh, sorry. I always forget the developers. Sorry, it's my.
No worries.
Fernando is a developer. Fernando, you are with the other one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucas and AI.
Lucas and Fernando. Cool.
And there is also Hima, but he couldn't show up. But he was great part of for us to between the communication between designs and the developers.
Cool.
So take our time in Victoria.
Okay, who was your mentor in this moment?
So just a moment, you guys.
Okay.
We had one mentor. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out, but he helped us during like the research phase. But I'm blanking out on his name. But he was really helpful with our project.
Are you seeing my screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay. As you want, you can start, Victoria.
Fernando, you are in the wrong page, I think.
We are seeing your LinkedIn.
Oh my gosh, no, just a time. Just share the
This is your chat.
I have two monitor here, yeah. This is standard.
There you go.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
We are there.
Let go. Not
awesome.
Right. So let's start again. Forget that.
We are going to cut that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hello everyone. Thanks for sticking with us until the very end. My name is Victoria Bixby, and our team is very excited to present you another case study covering the same project, but with a different iteration. Hopefully, you're not falling asleep just yet. As you have already heard, we were tasked to create a video feature for job seekers during the beginning of the hiring process to help supplement the resume, giving job seekers the chance to show recruiters their personality, giving them the chance to stand out for amongst the candidates. Interesting, right? Well, before we jump into the case study, let me introduce you to our team. Next slide. For the design team, we had Kayo, Ali, Jasmine, and myself. For the development team, we had Hima, Lucas, and Fernando. Go ahead and slap a clapping emoji in the chat box to welcome the team that I worked for the past month. It was great collaborating with everyone and having fun along the way. Next slide. I also wanted to do a big shout out to Leticia and Kenneth for being able to host this hackathon. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And now, without further ado, let's start on the case study. As everyone knows, every project has a problem. This project is no exception. In the job hunting process, recruiters only see job seekers' skills and their level of experience. But what they don't see is their personality until further along in the process. So why does showing your personality to recruiters even matter? Don't they just end up seeing the candidate's personality during the interviews? Well, it's because it can lead to wasting time and money for the company. Recruiters may find candidates whose skills match the job, but it is not the only thing they have to consider. They also have to make sure the candidate also fits the company culture. They of course can learn this after spending time and money taking hours to interview each candidate to learn, to then realize that these candidates' personalities don't fit the company. But what if recruiters could learn about candidates' personalities earlier in the hiring process by watching a video of them? What if they could feel more confident in the candidates that they select fits the job role and also fits the company environment much sooner? That's the problem that our team tackled during this project. And now I'll turn it over to Ali to present our research findings.
Hey everyone. We conducted user research by creating surveys for both job seekers and hiring managers. And we also did in-depth interviews as well with job seekers and recruiters. Basically, to summarize and kind of narrow it down, the main question we were asking is, how has the job hunting process been for you? And the answers were exhausting, frustrating, rough, demoralizing, stressful, and so on. But that's without the video feature. And the next main question we were asking, do you think that creating a video of yourself for a few minutes to showcase your personality and passion would benefit you in your job application process? And here are the key findings. So 44.4% of people said they're comfortable recording themselves. 58.4% of people said they would use recording to supplement their resume. And 50% of people said that creating a video would help them to stand out in the application process. So based on this data, we can definitely argue that at least most of the people were comfortable and considering using a video in their job application process. And that was important for us because we wanted to design a feature that people would definitely use. And next on to design process with Jasmine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jasmine, and I'm the product designer. Thank you so much for being there with us in this very special presentation. The idea to design this platform is to create a more personal human experience. For the design process, we started sketching on the design on the paper, and then we later refined it on Figma. We created the low fidelity wireframes to determine the intended functionality in the interface. After we get the wireframes done, we apply the assets provided by the CareerIn on wireframes to create the high fidelity markups. So it was very practical to share the versions with the designers and work on the technological constraints. After creating the markups, we started working on the prototype. And once the prototype was ready, we started finding and securing the users to test. During the usability testing sessions, we took notes and discovered that we need to go back to the drawing board. And we implemented the changes to the design based on the feedback. And after some iterations, we sent the design deliverables to the developers. And now, Fernando will walk you through the development process.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So talk about the development process and the structure of the project here. I think you already figured out that handling Bubble, we have like some limitation. And the VR team figured out this in the beginner, and for you not to get trouble doing the short time for the developer, we decided to jump for the code from scratch, but basically give you focus in this more important feature inside your project. But let's talk about the real project and you think the structure you're gonna be, you can like divide it in your project in three parts: the front end part, the hosting, and the back end. And for front end part, you use in this case in your prototype Next, React, Material Y, and Style component. Between and the handling data user, you need to apply DWT, right, for encryptation of the data. And in this case here, we suggest to use for the backend side the Node.js for handler for server, AWS for use like a database in cloud, and Vercel for hosted the website. So basically, work with the database. We have two kinds of database you need to have. One has a relationship and no relationship. And another part we here implemented is like a service provided for this client here is the zero auth that's handle everything about the flow authentication. So here I'm gonna show a short part of the project. Let me come back here. As you can see here, the project is hosted in Universal. So basically, like here, our landing page. When you go here and click sign up, and you can decide if you are the employer or recruiter. In this case, here just for a presentation, I'm choosing one. So basically, here I'm gonna type, and here like oh sorry, not here. Yeah, at the time you sign up and you jump to here and introduce to you and invite you create your profile, and you create and you click here, you jump for, and you'll be able to start record and upload the video. This is more important part of the project. That is, you create the filter and you can record yourself. So I'm gonna show you guys when I start here. When I click here, I'm gonna just allow myself. This should give me send, yeah. As you can see here, now I'm gonna start record myself. Give a little second just for example. Yeah, I think it's done. And here I have example, right? So just I go delete it here, and if you'd like to upload the video, you're able to upload the video as the same way. Just for a second then. Yeah, the same way is done. One time, and another part we have here is about my job, is the section and the filter. You can work more, and here if you apply some jobs you will apply, we have the flow here. You can check which step is going in the which application, and here you can check the applied. And I think it is that, guys. Let me check here. If you have any question that I can help you.
Key learnings.
Sorry.
Key learnings.
You hear me, guys?
You missed the slide.
Can you share your screen again? I think.
So can you say again? Sorry, Inter.
Can you show the key learnings?
Oh, sorry. I jumped that part. Sorry. Yeah. So talk about the key learnings. I think is a very important part of us be able to communicate and collaborate with each other. And we work project and work with actual clients, and find the balance in the client needs and the design. And of course, you not solve everything, right? So yeah, this was a good opportunity for us, and working the team and learning how the develop part and the design part, design project, we work in the same side.
Cool. Are you done, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations, guys. I really like this. I really like this kind of, you have a backend, you have a front end, the 4 designers complete. Yeah, exactly. It was the only one backend in the challenge, in the hackathon. So thank you. And yeah, I mean, it was really good. Congratulations, guys. I wanted to ask you, how was their experience working along developers for designers? Did you have the first time working?
I think for our part, developer part was easier because we had one person to connect with the designers, which is Hima. And I think that made clear how to get things done easier. So everything that the designers decided, they could talk with Hima, and then Hima could talk with us. So I think that was more organized in the because sometimes when you feel like everyone needs to talk, sometimes can be a mess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly what Lucas said. It was pretty much me being like the manager for the design team, and then Hema was really, the one, handling with the development team. So it was nice because, as Lucas said, like there's not like 8 people like voicing like all their like questions and everything. It was very much just like Fernando and Lucas could go to Hema, ask their questions, and then Hema would reach out to me and be like, hey, these are the questions that we had. And then, me being like, okay, collaborating with everyone and then giving Hema an answer to that. So it was the communication was really nice and flowed very well. So
cool. And let me know why Hema is the connection between designers and developers.
So Hema was more like talking with the development team, and then I would be talking to the design team, and then basically me and Hema would come together and talk. And if we had any questions, we would talk to each other, and then once we had that, then we would go back into our teams basically, and then work in that. So we took that approach.
Perfect. Congratulations for that decision. It's a very smart decision to jump to manage both teams. Congratulations. Good job. Good job.
I have a question for the designers and the developers. So how was the communication? What did you use to communicate the design? I know you use Figma, but did you do something extra to do the handoff for the designers? Some extra specification, or how was the communication there? Yeah.
Go ahead, Victoria.
Oh no, go ahead, Fernando. I've been talking too much.
No, it's okay. So basically, for us, it's easier when you we have both of us, Lucas and I, have experience using Figma, and our team is using Figma for the developer that application. It's pretty easy for us to understand, and based on not preview experience, you get like a help in some parts, and sometimes the team not have the whole concept of the application. Sometimes the last team say, sometimes you need to change the button or change the flow, and you can contribute to it. And the Figma has one filter. If you not know something, you can help get the code, when you use the style, and you can get the style is properly done. It's not necessary to think, how can I do this? Is an example for you.
Yeah, and we also use other ways to communicate, which was Slack, and most developers team like me and Fernando and Hema, we use Zoom for the meetings, and also I think the designers use for the communication the Google, right?
Oh yeah, we use Google Meets.
Yeah, so yeah, those.
And for the chat, Slack or Tweet didn't work, right? That much, right?
Yeah, we didn't work too much in Swift. Mostly all our communication for everybody was on Slack.
Cool. Yeah.
So for the developers, the level of detail of the design, it was enough to go ahead and code the site. Is there anything else you have expected to receive from the designers, more detailed specification, or it was enough?
Yeah, it was enough, because I think we had a short time to do it, but it was okay. It was okay.
Good.
If I can contribute to that part, I think the key was Hema, because we need not spend time and go and it's not because would like to talk all the time with the team, the design team, but sometimes they spend some things and Hema help us here, talk with the team, and they help each other. So I think it is a key for us in this project.
But we would also leave comments on Figma to each other.
Exactly.
I think that
yeah.
Just typing in the comments. Yeah. like, for example, for the presentation for the developers part, we were just finding all the icons and just inserting them there so they can just, work with that.
Great.
I'm just curious. That last question for the developers. There's just a whole lot of technology there, different tools you use. One of the things I realized, you have two different kind of databases, PostgreSQL and Mongo. Why so complex? Why you didn't stick only one, or what was the decision for how technology to use?
Okay, so basically, in this case, we have, you need to when you handle entities, when you create entities, you need to have relations. So for that, you need to database with your work is a relation part. So for not relation part, you use we have the example here, PostgreSQL for the relation, and the non-relation using MongoDB. And in this case here, there's a put MongoDB because I imagine and in your application would like a pop-up, and in that pop-up brings the message. Some of the times you need to store that mention, you need to recover again and another time. So for that, it's pretty easy to use in all relation database.
So basically the two of them, because one is for the responses and one database is for the relation between the entities of the database.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. I wanted to ask you guys if you have any mentor during the process. You have connect with any project? Who was that?
I think not from the part, our mentor for the developers was Hima. So we always connect to him. And for the designers, I'm not sure.
I think his name is John, Victoria.
Yeah. I think you're right. I just can't, for the life of me, can't remember.
Yeah, we connected with him in the beginning because once we did research, the results were very interesting. It was almost like 50-50. So half of the people would say, yes, let's do it. I would like to see the video feature. And some people were scared of some racial bias, or they were too introverted. And we were just trying to come up with the right presentation on that part. And yeah, he helped us a lot. I think we had an hour chat with him, right? It was quite some time.
Right.
Yeah, John is from New York. Yeah. And I think okay, what else I can, I have in my mind, I wanted to tell you guys, I didn't expect to have the full project developed by today, but it was amazing for me, the outcome, how fast you guys have worked for developers and designers to come today with a full project. So amazing one, just for 1 month. It's a huge win as well. So congratulations for the three of the three groups. Very cool, very cool, very cool. I'm so proud of you. Thank you guys. I wanted to ask you the last question because we are running out of time. What about Kenneth? What do you have to say about it?
I think it is amazing that all these teams they think about I just gave them the the idea, and they come up with all those end product, and I think it is quite amazing. And I think I hope that you all enjoy the process of working together in a team. And I think the whole reason we create this hackathon is to create the platform and the experience where you the designers and the developers can have the experience to work together, right? And I think that in turn, I think we achieved that, and I think that's a good experience for all of you. I hope that is something that you learn something along the way, and also you gain some more friendship within the your team too. So looking forward and hoping to see you all improve in the future, and with this can be like a part of the journey where you learn to improve your both either your as your UX designer or as a developer in your career.
Yeah, thank you, Kenneth, for participating and for joining with me in this adventure for us as well.
Yeah, and thank you the IterateUX team as well. I appreciate your whole team to help pull this off. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Paulina, for helping me out for creating all this process before. We have organized all the projects for 1 month before. So thank you, Paulina, where you are. Say some words.
It was super fun, and I love it. It's amazing. I hope there's an application like this in the future, in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina, for helping out. And remember, guys, to complete the survey I put in the chat. And anyway, I will send you in your emails to complete the survey. So I wanted to know how you feel, how was your process. And I wanted to have as well with Paulina a one-on-one interview or 30 minutes interview, just to know how was your experience as a developer, as a designer, as a team. You know, it's good to have your feedback so we can improve and keep learning from you and keep improving this hackathon. That, in my point of view, it's really interesting. It's really important that you guys, as a designer, have the experience with developers and developer has experience with designers, because it's how the real work works. And it's not normally you, I don't know, maybe yes, but you being optimistic, you will have good connection with developers, but normally not. So yeah, but it's up to, always happen the constraint between the design and the backend and the front end. So it's all real life, So thank you guys for joining. Thank you for presenting this project, this hackathon, for participating. And for next, go ahead, Liz.
Yes, please remember we meet every Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific time. And next Wednesday we have a new version, a new session of whiteboarding. I just posted the link on the chat. So please come. If you want to participate in the whiteboard, you have to click on the form there and send your details for being there, working with a group. But if you don't want, if you feel afraid that you don't want to be on the spot, you can come and watch anyway and give your feedback to the group that's going to work there. I think we will have 2 groups most likely, so we have only 6 spaces. So yeah, just go ahead if you want and sign up.
Yeah, keep it up, keep that learning, so you can achieve your job easily. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Good job, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Bye-bye.